my name is Tim Ormsby, State Representative from the 3rd District in Spokane. We are just beginning the 2011 legislative session here in Olympia, and we're shooting this from our legislative office, which is in the legislative building. And you can see these aren't palatial digs. It's basically where we do our business in the day, where we meet constituents, interact with folks when we're not in committee or doing our business on the floor. As I said, we're in the very first week of the legislative session and things have just gotten off the ground. We have some really difficult challenges ahead of us this session, and I think we're all very familiar with the economic circumstances that we're in. We're having struggles at the local level in the city of Spokane, in Spokane County. We're also having big struggles financially in the state of Washington, around the country, actually around the globe. This is a difficult time for everybody, and it means that we've got some difficult choices that we're going to have to make. This year, the 3 committees that I sit on are the Capital Budget Committee, which is the construction committee. I also sit on the Labor and Workforce Development Committee. And this year, a new committee for me is the Ways and Means Committee, which is the operating budget. And day one of the legislature, we got a briefing from the Governor's Office of Financial Management about the scope of the problem that we're dealing with, and it's very daunting. And the prospects of being able to give good news to folks under these economic circumstances is going to be a challenge. And so while we are in the business of doing the best we can, I do want to be realistic with folks about the things that we're facing and the difficult challenges that are going to be ahead of us. We've got drastic cuts that we're going to have to make. So how the state budget works is money comes into the state through sales tax, through property tax, and through business and occupation tax. So those are our 3 very limited sources of income. Sales tax is the biggest one, and when we're in a recession like we are right now, our largest source of revenue, people just aren't spending the money on items that sales tax applies to, so we've got a lot less of it. So there's only 2 choices that you have when you run into a situation like that, and that is either increase the amount of money coming in through new taxes, which we're really handcuffed on doing because the voters approved Initiative 1053. That means any new revenue that we would have would require a 2/3 vote of the legislature. It would be very difficult to do under these circumstances. The only other thing we can do is to make drastic cuts to state programs that involve health care for low-income folks, higher education opportunities, those type of things. So the things that we're going to do here are going to have lasting impacts. And as my friend and our office manager here, Shannon, reminds me that when there's not enough time or money to do everything that we want to do, the true nature of people, the true character of people comes out. And I think that's an exercise that we're going through. We're really trying to find out with this document that's going to be the budget, the moral document, what are we prepared to do on behalf of the folks that we're here to represent? And it will be a very challenging exercise. And that's where you all come in, because creativity is going to be called for. In a conversation I had with the governor very recently, she put out a proposed budget that she doesn't like. And that is because there isn't enough time or money to do everything that we would like to do. And she said, this is the best I could do. If anybody else has a better idea, please bring it along, because as she explained, I need to work with the legislature, and as a legislator, I need to be able to work with constituents. And we'd really appreciate any input that folks out there in Spokane or anywhere else in the state have for the things that we can do smarter, more efficiently, with less expense, and still deliver those core services. And I think when it comes to folks that are having a challenge making it through this difficult economic time, on their behalf, we have to be creative. We are going to have to come up with ways to do the least that we can do. And after having come off the most recent election cycle, I believe everywhere I went, I heard candidates say, we need to protect the most vulnerable among us. And I think we absolutely need to do that, but we can't just be campaign rhetoric now. We actually have to figure out a way to provide for the most vulnerable folks that are out there, to make sure that we don't leave them behind, even though we're in difficult economic times. Thanks for joining us today for this weekly video update. We'll be doing them from different places around the Capitol, give you at home a look at the places where we conduct your business. Until then, please stay in touch. The contact information through the Miracle of Television should be displayed on your screen. Please let us know any ideas that you have, and please join us next time from Olympia.